for the cut outside the off stump for the left arm spinner. Maybe sweep the off spinner. I'm always one for sweeping with the spin, not against the spin.
I'm just not able to understand what is Lokesh Baum trying to do in the middle. They've lost 2 big wickets. They need a partnership here. Hazlitt has hit a very nice 4. He's just playing out of character.
Well, under the cosh, certainly are the Biratnagar Kings, not getting the ball off the square really. A lot of work to be done by Lokesh Baum, 4 of 16. He can't throw it away now. Much better. Take the singles, play yourself in, and then you can explode. 5 overs done, put into bat, 21 for 2, the Kings.
Well, not the start the Kings would have wanted. 2 of their star players back in the hutch. One of them, George Munsey, dismissed second ball LBW as his struggles in this Nepal Premier League continue. And then the man that everyone came to see, Faf du Plessis, he's gone in the first 5, gone for 12. And the Kings will have to rebuild. Lokesh Baum's found it a bit tricky, 5 off 17, batting at 3 today. That's more like it's tossed up and hammered away. And I think that's the perfect way to welcome a man who found the rope with consummate ease when he batted and occasionally cleared it too. Good afternoon, early good evening, Carlos Brathwaite.
Yeah, super sharp. You always want to make the most of your power play if you can. The last over in the power play is always the one you tend to attack the most. It's a good platform. First ball boundary.
Tries to go again, gets it again. Oh, all the way. Really flat 6, and look at the improvement from Hazlitt. He says, oh, that's a very good stroke. Bam goes boom.
Once again, first ball 4, this one 6. He's on the charge. And 1 over can change things, and it could have right the wrongs of what's been a sluggish power play so far. For important deliveries to come.
Oh, unlucky Sharmala just went a little flatter through the air. Probably the 2 most important overs in all T20 cricket now, aren't they? The 6th, the final of the power play, and the penultimate, the 19th.
Yeah, and you look at just before this over, 20 odd for 2, and you're thinking if you get a quiet over, the Lions would have won the power play, but with 3 balls to go and you get a couple of boundaries and you get up to 40 for 2. That's quite even, and the Kings would have taken that before the start of play. So it's a quite important over to also give momentum going into that middle period, which on slow, sluggish wickets sometimes can be a real trek and a hassle for a batting unit. Can you take some momentum out of the power play?
Had a few injury challenges, the Kings, this season, Carlos, because, well, Shehan Jayasuriya, I think he was in the country for less than 24 hours. His ACL and his MCL went in one very nasty incident on the outfield. I thought it was his ankle that twisted, but actually it was the knee that got very badly affected. So that means Sam Hazlitt has held on to his spot. He's actually been under the weather and sick, and we both spoke to Martin Guptill before the start of play. He's still battling that quad injury. And even George Munsey has a bit of a shoulder niggle that he's playing through. So, yeah, the physio has been in plenty of action for the Kings. And as we think of their captain, Sandeep Lamachani, he's kind of had to shuffle his deck of cards.
Finish well, finish well.
Yeah, but it's also good to see the international players playing through the pain barrier. It means a lot to the fans who come out and pay to watch the cricket. And the fact that they're sacrificing, in some cases, the health to perform is commendable.
End of the power play, end of the 6, advantage to the Lions, but the Kings are only 2 down, 34 for 2. Tremendous support the Kings have had all season. I think alongside the Suda Prashim Royals and maybe the reigning champions, the Janakpur Bolts, the 3 best supported sides this season. But the Lions have come in good number and in good colour too. And the atmosphere here at the TU throughout this season, it's a sellout tonight, it's a sellout tomorrow, it's a sellout Saturday. The only day there's any tickets left available for Friday and Sunday, and I can promise you the playoffs are going to sell out. So get onto that Kelty app and
the characteristics that brought them how far they are at the moment. So it's good to know to see it in the flesh, up close and personal.
yeah, I think it was the Gulshan Jag catch of Jason Holder who was the top scorer of that innings. And even I remember vividly Holder's reaction and Stuart Law's reaction, the Nepal head coach on the sideline. Even Stuart Law begrudgingly was going, we're playing pretty well here.
Yeah, good performances like bad performances will snowball. It takes one stop in the field, one amazing catch, and you feel as though it starts to spread throughout the team, much like when you start to drop. One person drops, everyone drops. Good fielding can just be as infectious as poor fielding, and this man on screen, Rohit Padel, not only an amazing leader but an amazing fielder as well.
Yeah, him alongside Bertel and Irie, I think they really set the benchmark. I've actually seen quite a few catches go down, but I think that's been an adjustment to the floodlights. The local players who haven't played internationally, who've never played under them before, getting used to them. Good tight over from Tilak to start with. It's 38 for 2. Darcy Short, not just an explosive opening batter, but very talented wrist spinner. Saw you saying hello to him before the start of play. Did you play with him somewhere?
Played against him in Big Bash, and when you're on the circuit and you see a guy 3 or 4 tournaments, you might grab a drink in the bar, say hello when you pass, and yeah, he's a chilled character. Aussies are normally more intense, he's more laid back, a little bit more West Indian than Aussie. So yeah, we've shared a few conversations over the years.
Yeah, nicely played. Yeah, I have to say, just so fantastic to have the big man alongside me here. Carlos Brathwaite going to be with us the rest of the season. What do you reckon here, Dakatopi? I think Sherrod Vasaker gave you one in charge, but it was off camera. I think it looks good.
Yeah, it goes well with the trouser, black polo. Thanks to the NPL for keeping the fashion sense alive.
Pumped down the ground, over pitched by Short and put away. 2 or 3 years ago, Lokesh Bam could not play the kind of innings he is playing now because he would already have got out having started slowly. He's showing an increased maturity, and I wonder, is it going to be this young man opening the batting against the West Indies come T20 World Cup in Mumbai?
But it shows a lot of maturity to be able to get through a sticky period. Everyone came to see Faf, George Munzi, the international guys, but Lokesh Bam, ever so quietly stealing the show, and we almost put the mockers on him with the good old commentator's curse. But it is good to watch players. There's been this trend in T20 cricket where swing, and if you get out, you get out. There's still a price to put on your wicket, and he's shown that he can do that and mix that and marry that with going long and going big when it is the correct time.
He's not picking him. Oh, this is going to be interesting. He is not picking him at all. And I suspect this might go upstairs. And we're going to be going searching for the law book because, well, there's been a few famous occurrences. Graham Gooch, probably the most famous one. Law 33 is going to be the one that we're going to have a look at here. He's not picked the googly. Back he comes. No, Lokesh. Oh, he hasn't touched it. Isn't he lucky? Oh, don't do that to us. We've had enough drama already this season.
He's given them all the dummy. In football, you talk about the drop of the shoulder and giving the goalkeeper the eyes. Lokesh Bam, need to find something for that. Just a nice little dummy, feigning to touch it with the hand and then watching it past. But I tell you what, they looked for handle ball, but I wonder if he was outside the crease, would that have potentially been obstructing the field, stopping Niroshan Dikwela from being able to stump him. So if his foot doesn't get down, and it is down now, so I think it doesn't look like he touched it. It looks like his foot was down, so it probably is much ado about nothing, but it's very exciting and a few grey areas to excite us.
We just wanted to welcome you to the drama, welcome you to the excitement, welcome you to the chaos of the Nepal Premier League, Carlos.
What's he saying? Am I the drama?
You're certainly bringing it. 10 occasions in international history, batters have been dismissed, handled the ball. The famous one I always remember was that Ashes test, Graham Gooch, back in 1993. Steve Waugh on that list. Darryl Cullinan's in there too. I don't think he's touched this. I don't quite know why we're continuing to look at it. Of course, Dick Wella's at the heart of the action. He's never far away from it. Michael Vaughan did it against India, the Chinnaswamy in Bangalore too in a test match. And the last man to be dismissed, handle the ball in test cricket. Oh, as the crowd roar, is Chamu Chubaba of Zimbabwe. Darcy Short smiles and Lokesh Bam survives. I'd imagine that's already going to be on social media. Lucky Lokesh. And good decision. Get down the non-striker's end. Just take a breath.
That is so underrated from a batsmanship standpoint. You get a slow start, you get a few boundaries. Sometimes batters don't appreciate cycling through the gears. You want to go from first gear to fifth gear. No, just up and down, singles, get on the other end.
Brave piece of bowling, last ball of the over, because he really tossed that up to his fellow Australian. Did Darcy Short. 9 from his first. It's 47 for 2. 6 bowlers used thus far, including the 2 Namibians, JJ Smith and Ruben Trumpelman. But I think it's going to be a diet of spin in these middle overs, as there's a recognition that there's a bit of turn on offer in the surface. He's lit. Oh, look at that extension of the long levers. It is the best place to hit here at the TU ground, Carlos. You always get good rewards straight down the ground, and that's the maximum reward.
Good matchup for the left hand as well, the leg spinner. And it didn't drop, it didn't dip. But He's took a dip of the back knee and going for the maximum straight back.
I really like young Tilak as a leg spinner. But as part of his development and his evolution as a young leg spinner, I think he's got to make more use of his front arm. If you just get a look here, Carlos, you and I played against each other, obviously, in Dublin. You remember facing my leg. He's used that front arm more.
Yeah, a little bit more energy as well. Not necessarily to run in faster, but those last few steps, can you get a little bit more energy through the crease?
He's accurate, and you wouldn't want to change him too much, but I'm not suggesting you change your action or change your method. But you think back to those iconic images of Shane Warne at his release point. Even Rashid Khan, in his own way, makes a lot of use of the forward momentum in a different way. You want all of your body weight, all of your momentum pushing towards the target. That might be the top of the off stump or the keeper's gloves. Just a bit more I'd like from his front arm.
Nice ball, Tilak. Nice Tilak, nice Tilak.
Yeah, you look at the run up here, there's not much happening there, but in and around here, can you get a little bit more with the feet, with the lower part of the body? Is a real strenuous delivery at the crease itself. There's not much before he gets to the crease. And you mostly talk about it with fast bowlers, but listen to someone like Nathan Lyon, who obviously is not a reverse spinner. He speaks heavily about getting enough energy to the crease and then being able to see that energy in his pivot. So can he get a little bit more energy to that and put a few more revs on the ball?
That one's just kept a bit low. Heaslett's done well, actually, playing across the line. 9 runs from the 9th over. It's 56 for 2. Change of bowling. Going to be Ruben Trumpelman brought back in for a burst. Powdell's seen enough of the spinners for the moment. Big Namibian, broad-shouldered. Strong action. His batting's improved significantly and definitely deserves his place here at the MPL. Have you seen anything of Trumpelman?
Yeah, I watched him a fair bit. He's been knocking around, playing in a few leagues around the world. Obviously did well for Namibia in the World Cup as well.
He's a talented cricketer. Okay, I think we've got Jess Crow down pitch side with some immediate reaction from the Lions. Who have you got, Jess?
Well, Lenny, I'm joined by Shakti Gautam from the Lumbini Lions. Shakti, an excellent start for the Lions tonight. What have you made of the team?
Yeah, thank you so much. Right now is a bit balanced for both the team. Starting, we took the 2 wickets, so at that time we are a bit in upper hand, but right now location, helmet is make the partnership, so that partnership is crucial for us.
And with your previous experience representing Nepal, how have you been able to work quite closely with the young talent coming into the team?
Yeah, of course, NPL is a very big platform for the youngster, and boys are doing well. The youngsters are all enjoying, and this is the biggest platform for them. So hope they will grab the opportunity for the future.
And what does your role look like within the Lions?
My role is as a consultant coach, so I'm giving some tips for the whenever you bowl in power play, in middle over and death over, and which line, in which area you have to bowl. So for batsmen in power play, how you handle that power play and middle over. So all these things are in my area, so I'm helping for the team.
Excellent. And let's touch on the crowd. They've come in numbers, game in, game out. How nice has it been to see their support for the players?
Yeah, of course, this is the biggest ever sports right now in Nepal. So hopefully this future is better and better. So I think cricket is growing up, and Nepal, I think we have a wonderful future for everyone in Nepal cricket.
And what's an ideal score here this evening to restrict the Kings to?
I think we are thinking to below 150. That should be better for us. But I think wicket look good. So if they batted well, then maybe 170 they will go. So maybe we can chase the 180. But this partnership is the crucial for them.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. All the best for you and the Lions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go back to comms.
Well, I'll promise you something. Thank you, Jess, firstly. In a stacked field, in a country of wonderful people, some of the nicest people you meet anywhere in the world, you will not meet a nicer man than Shakti Gauchan, the iconic figure that he is, the hero of the 2014 T20 World Cup. And the work he is doing with his own academy, and indeed everyone down in Biratnagar in the Lumbini province, phenomenal, bringing on multiple iterations, generations of cricketers, an inspirational figure, and doing a great job with the Lions. Carlos, just quickly, atmosphere here, enjoying it so far?
Yeah, loving it. I once posted something on Twitter about the Zimbabwe atmosphere, and I was told you have to experience Kathmandu. And what I will say is it has not disappointed. Everyone has been sharing the love. The seats are jam-packed, probably one stand that has a little bit of space. You can hardly find space to think in that shot. But no, I've been enjoying it. The roar when they announced Faf du Plessis was, I don't know, unlike any other. So yeah, looking forward to the tournament going on and hearing and seeing more of the atmosphere.
You better get your cheeks ready, Carlos. I think you're going to have more than a few photo requests, and you'll be getting used to doing lots of selfies across the course of the coming 10 days. Okay, fascinating first half. It's a good third wicket partnership that's rebuilding up for the Kings. It's time for the Expert Education Strategic Timeout. The Biratnagar Kings, 59 for 2.
Waiting for Faf du Plessis hit a couple of good shots before Abhishek could celebrate, to the disappointment of everyone in attendance. It's been a rebuilding phase for Lokesh Bam and Sam Heaslet. Lokesh unbeaten on 28, Heaslet unbeaten on 18. But you would think on a slowish surface that they'd have to score a little bit more than the 59 that they have in 10 overs in the next 10.
Absolutely, HT. You've got to play yourself in as a batter on the surface. Not easy. The ball's not coming onto it the way they would like to. How well has this boy bowled, Abhishek Gautam? 1 for 7 in his 2. The big wicket of Faf du Plessis. Nicely swept. Good start to the over. Work to do for the fielder. He'll cut it around. Malla with a throw. 1 for the shot, 1 for the throw. A bit of a misfield. I like the way Lokesh Bam is now playing himself in.
Nice urgent running. So when there's a little bit of a fumble in the deep, they're able to get through for 2. Always important to run that first one as hard as you can. There's the mistake.
Keep your eyes on the ball. That's what the coach will tell all the kids very early in their fielding drills. Yeah, he swept that from outside off, and he's done it with precision. Splits the 2 fielders in the deep. Lokesh Bam is readying himself for a big score.
Excellent shot. Because the ball's outside off stump, Lokesh Bam's able to hit this well in front of square. He's looking for the boundary on purpose here. He knows if he gets it forward of square, there's no protection. Be brave. Come on, there's turn there for you. You don't have to dart it in. Looking for the arm ball. That's tight.
Quicker delivery. He's been fancying this shot since the time he's arrived at the crease here, Lokesh Bam.
It bounces. Look at the bounce. Another arm ball.
Interesting to see Vid Dikwela caught it as well. That's more like it. You give it air, you bowl it slower, you'll purchase some turn.
Niroshan Dikwela is not exactly the tallest man in the world, but still he catches this head height. Wow.
You can sense a change of confidence in a young bowler when you get a wicket of someone like Faf du Plessis, HT.
It's been a lovely start for the young man. 11 gone, 66 for 2.
Yes, some work to do for the Biratnagar Kings. They were 15 for 2. Good repair work. This partnership for the 3rd wicket worth 51 and 50. It's come at a run of ball. But yeah, from here on, in the next 54 deliveries, ideally you'd want to believe the Biratnagar Kings need to reassess their plans in the middle with the bat. Lokesh and Heaslet are looking good, but they need to target a bowler here. JJ Smith has begun well. Trying to use the pace, will fetch a single. And they've been good this evening, the Lumbini Lions, in the field particularly. Yeah, many smiling faces at this venue as always. And there he is, our Happy Dent, sparkling smile, fan of the day and the match. Yeah, gives us a big wave, big shout out, and a hamper is coming your way, young man. Congratulations, that smile says it all. I'm getting a goodie.
He only just snuck in with that moment, that Happy Dent moment, because Abhishek ran him a close second with his dismissal of Faf du Plessis, because there was a smile from ear to ear when he dismissed the ex-South African captain.
I so wish we could have it on split screen, HD, to show it to you. Get the comparisons of the smiles and those pearly teeth showing up as well. How broad does it get for Abhishek? Well, you asked for it, HD, and yeah, our director obliges.
Well, fresh off the plane, he doesn't know that it turns here. Yep, there it is. That's a happy dent moment for you. Well done.
He's not taking the happy dent hamper today for sure. Faf du Plessis. But what a moment here for NPL to see this man.
Yeah, wonderful player. Wonderful player, and fantastic that he's considered coming here as well when there might have been some other options for him. You know, we keep saying that these players need to come here to see it, to believe it. And I think, you know, I can doff my cap to Faf du Plessis, a wonderful international player who's come here to see it with his own eyes.
That's gone high up in the air. JJ Smith says it's mine, and he'll take it as well. Lokesh Baum, after a very good start, has handed over the advantage back to the Lumbini Lions, and Smith is now amongst wickets.
He was never going to drop this. The attitude before the ball landed in his hands suggested he was going to always catch this, because once it goes in the air, he is telling everyone to clear out of his path. That is going nowhere. Very fine catch. Lokesh Baum goes for a nicely played 35 in difficult conditions. It's 70 for 3.
Are putting the squeeze on the Kings at the moment. Narayan Joshi walks out. And you have Bashir Ahmed in the middle, who scored a 60 odd and won the game. Ideally, I would have liked to have seen him, HD.
Yeah, still a nice player, Joshi, but I'm in agreement with you. You know, you want form at the wicket, and he'll be full of confidence, won't he?
Yeah, Joshi got 25 or 16 in the last game when he was in that association with Bashir. So yes, he's another very fine quality bat. It's up to the team management what they feel is best in the middle there. Left, right, maybe.
Yeah, it's just a little bit out of shot, which is a great pity, but JJ Smith basically gesticulates with both his arms, like clearing a path around him, saying, this ball is mine. And that's what you want from an outfielder.
Oh, he's given that a whack. And that's gone beyond the boundary ropes. Hazlett's looking good this evening. And a good finish to the over despite losing a wicket very early. 77 for 3 after 12. It hasn't been smooth sailing for the Biratnagar Kings. They lost a wicket in the very first over, and that really pegged the flow of runs in the first 6. And some counter-attack by Hazlett and Lokesh in the middle where they stitched 50 runs, but after Lokesh's departure, once again, a bit of repair work over here. Hazlett's looking good. Narayan just walked out. Another full house this evening. Midweek entertainment. Another talented bowler here. Tilak Raj Bhandari, the leg spinner. Watch him give that ball a lot of rip. Good start.
Bowls it quickly, doesn't he? Bowls it very quickly. He'll be a handful if he gets some turn like that.
Close, directed, but he had one stump to aim at. A bit of confusion and misunderstanding. Oh dear, they'll have to be careful here, Narayan and Heazlett.
Just needed to be a better throw. I know that Erison Villa indicates that the ball should go to the non-strikers end, but if this is over the top of the stumps, it's probably out.
You spoke about the speed at which the leg spinner was bowling. Has it become a set template now? Spinners, particularly leg spinners, will maybe just give that more pace in the air than give it more flight, understanding how the batters are approaching the game and the growing demands of it.
I think in T20 cricket, that's certainly the case. I don't think in the longest version. In Test cricket, you still get the ball, you give it a little bit of flight, you give it an opportunity to bounce. This is very much in the mould of Rashid Khan. It's quick, it's not forward of a length, it's almost, if he makes a mistake, he's back of a length. You want to force the batter to play back and try and hit across the line. That's what they're after in order to get wickets.
Narayan Joshi, little slow to respond to Heazlett's call in that last run. And there again you saw some purchase for the spinner. Good pick up and throw there by Darcy shot. Oh, he lost the shape on this. Just false shot. Oh, they're pushing for the second. They'll get there comfortably.
Again, the throw going to the striker's end. Now, just bear in mind that it's an extra 22 yards that the ball has to travel, which gives the batter that little bit of extra time to get in. So ideally, you throw to the non-striker's end, unless both batters are standing at the non-striker's end, but very little chance of a run-out when you throw the ball that way.
Another quick single. Oh, they're living dangerously here, both these batters. Not quite sure about that calling and how good a judge they are of the singles, particularly at point, but they've accumulated 5 in this over, 82 for 3. Yeah, it's a packed Wednesday evening here at the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Stadium. Some familiar faces. That's Karna Thapa there. Recognize him. He's a staunch supporter of the Pokhara Avengers. Every team comes with their fair share of die-hard cricket fans in this part of the world. Did meet quite a few of them playing cricket just by the ground over here. Malla. Oh, this is another very easy decision, and it's been given. Ramba Kuela, no hesitation in giving the marching orders to Narayan, and Malla yet again strikes in his first over after being brought back into a spell.
This does have a little bit of air on it. Much slower, different paces being bowled between Malla and Tilak. Players have to adjust. And Narayan was looking to get on with things, but unfortunately he's trapped. LBW for 5. The Kings, not having it their own way, are 82 for 4.
You know, the Lions are on a prowl tonight, and this man, Bashir Ahmed, what an innings he played a couple of nights ago. Pulled his team out of the dead, hit a match-winning 60-odd, got them through the finishing line. Lovely character to talk to. He walks out when his team needs another gem from his bat. And he's off the mark immediately as well. Talk about a batter who's scored a strokeful 50 in the last game, just coming and nudging the ball here and there.
As good a player as he is, I wish he was wearing a helmet. You know, it's not only quick bowlers, but you get on the sweep or the reverse sweep and you get a top edge and you're visiting the dentist. It was a sensational innings.
This should be another wicket. Fielder getting underneath, pouched. Malla gets a little luckier, but he takes another wicket in the very same over. He's having a lovely evening, and one brings two as he's led two. Departs.
A little lucky. Never a truer word said, because this was a long hop and Heazlett's eyes lit up and said, I'm going to hit this out of Kathmandu. Instead, a top edge is found and it just loops to the man at short 45. Heazlett goes for a better than a runner ball, 27. The Kings are now 83 for 5.
Pratish GC walks out with a couple of sixes of Kushal Malla a couple of nights ago in a losing cause. He can bat. How long can he put a price on his wicket? Malla is just having a whale of a time in the middle here. And that's why the promotion of Bashir Ahmed is so important.
It won't be in his highlight reel, Malla, when he retires, because he's a little fortunate, but he's bowled some wonderful deliveries over the course of this competition that haven't got wickets, so well done.
Two wickets in this over for Malla.
This was out. This was a lovely bit of bowling. A lot less pace, just straightened. The next delivery probably should have gone out the ground, but instead they'll run hard, yeah, they'll run hard. Oh. So they forced the error. Forced the error. 2 wickets for Malla in the over, 14 gone, 87 for 5.
Back in the dugout inside 90 here for the Biratnagar Kings. They were 60 for 5 a couple of nights ago when Bashir Ahmed got that special going in a tense chase. And today the surface is presenting a bit more challenge. And again, it's Bashir who'll have to bat and revolve around that lower order of his. We'll have to see what's the kind of approach he brings in. Yeah, he'll work it around. Yeah, it's always a lovely drive to the stadium each afternoon and morning for us. That's because we are coming in the Omora and Jayco new Jayco J5, the real SUV with the best in-segment range specifications. And remember, rupees 25,000 will be donated to education per match hit on the J5 podium. It is indeed a grand sight and a good drive as well, with great features inside of it. Yeah, it's a lovely car. Meanwhile, a lovely outing for this boy. 1 for 15, he has kept things tight, has got a big scalp. Leading edge. Would you be tempted to have a slip in this time of the game?
No, I don't know. I don't think I would have a slip. Not at this time of the game. I think there's a run out on the cards here, because I think those men at backward point are well in the game, and at some point there's going to be a clean pickup and a good throw. They're desperate for runs. Urgent.
Yeah, Bashir eyes the mid-wicket region every now and then to the left arm spiller. Talk about the matchups. Abhishesh Gautam has been a treat to the eyes today.
Turn, and he gets some bounce with his arm ball as well.
He slowed the pace, varied the pace very nicely. Short and wide. You're just helping the batter there.
Yeah, again, that delivery is a great example of what is not a very effective delivery in the long formats, but is an effective delivery in T20. You know, it's a long hop, it's outside off stump, it's a square cut. 5-day test match, that's 4. T20, just a single to the sweeper.
Yeah, different formats, different approaches. And just give that a bit of a rip over there. Oh, this could be close. As you rightly pointed out, HD. Point is kept interested. And they'll soon make an impact as well.
Yeah, they're running for everything that goes in this region. Again, this would have been tight. Probably out.
Needs some flight here from Abhishesh. It's Pratish GC. He'll fancy the bat. Yeah, that's more like it. Hits it over the bowler's head. One bounce, and that'll trickle away to the Toblerones. Good finish to the over. He can have the big hits going from his willow. At the halfway stage and 5 overs more, it's 96 for 5 and work to do for the Biratnagar Kings.
Welcome back. You're watching the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League 2025. We're in Season 2, Match 21. The Biratnagar Kings, 34 for 2 in their power play, 62. They've lost 3 wickets. They're in a spot of bother. Beautiful conditions, beautiful ground here, set amongst the majestic Himalayan valley. Is this Tribhuvan University ground. I'm Fazal Khalil. Very good evening, all the way from Barbados. Carlos Brathwaite, welcome to the show, Carlos.
Yeah, thank you. We've watched the Kings just wither slightly. Felt as though they had a slow foundation to begin with, but something they could have worked with. They were losing 2 wickets in the power play only, but
Will be runs.
I think that's at the stump. The Bills have lit up, but they haven't dropped. And who would be a keeper? Hit the stump and buys have gone against you.
Just a little bit of luck, perhaps, that the Biratnagar Kings need out here. 98 for 5 in the last 5 overs. How do you think they should plan these last 5 overs, Carlos? What do you think a good score on this pitch is? I did see you take a look at it. Slow, it's sluggish, it's keeping trifle low, turning a little. What do you think is a good score? And how do you think they should plan this innings from here?
Oh, that may be close. Did he plonk his bat in instead of sliding it?
We'll just wait for umpire Prageet Rambakwela. The Sri Lankan, he'll go up for technology. Like you did mention, splonked his bat in. And just take a look how close this is before I go back to my question of how they need to plan this innings. Will he survive? The third umpire, or the TV umpire, the right decision, not out. Mashur Ahmed survives, and the Biratnagar live to see another day. He really played well in the previous game, got 62 of 42 deliveries. Bashir Ahmed took them to that big win, as we see the 100 coming up for the Biratnagar Kings with that single. Will I just come back to that point that I made after this ball, Carlos? We'll get a really good bit of fielding. Yeah, so I was asking you how they need to plan their innings from here, and what do you think a good score is?
But I think they'll be looking for nothing less than 150. You get to those last 5 overs, I think 10 runs per over is the minimum. Bashir has had previous, he's had a fantastic knock last time out. He'd want to replicate that.
It's not the same pitch. We played on a fresh pitch the other evening, pitch number 4. Pitch number 7 that we're playing on, you can just see how slow the ball is coming onto the bat. We saw Faf du Plessis foxed by the slowness of the pitch. So 150, you reckon, is a good score on this pitch?
Yeah, you can fight with 150, but it's important to get bat on ball. There's the end of the 16th. They're quite away from 150, 102 for 5, the Kings.
24 legal deliveries to be bowled, and Carlos Brathwaite, you think 150 is a good score? We saw 150 being defended on this pitch, 140 odd was defended on this pitch, provided you bowl well. And in the second innings, you see a lot of dew, a hell of a lot of dew on the ground, which settles on the pitch. So I'm just presuming that the ball would come much better. You've played a lot of cricket in the night where the ball comes onto the bat because of the dew.
Yeah, and that's why I think 140 in a day game, probably you would put that as, you know, enough. If you bowl well, get early wickets, all the cliches, you can win. With it being the dew factor, I think you need those extra 10 runs, a little bit of a cushion. But what I would say is Pratish is 11 off 9 now. It is important that he doesn't miss too many balls. You know, we talk a lot about boundaries and sixes, but in the back end, you're facing those 30 balls in the last 5 overs. You need to get as much bat on ball as possible. So you supplement those boundaries with the odd 2. But rotation of strikers, right hand, left hand, that poses a challenge for the left leg spinner as well. So how can you maximize as many balls as possible, hitting the ball, not only getting boundaries?
You're looking for 2 and they'll get it quite comfortably. Need a direct hit. He's asked the question, umpire Vimla Suri. Yeah, there it is, going up to the TV umpire. Yes. Look a lot closer. There it is, there it is. Oh, geez, he's a goner. He's an absolute goner. This will tell the entire story. There it is, the bail up. From this angle, Carlos, it just looks like they're between frames here.
Yeah, between frames. But he's been given. They've seen enough. Rohit Podal again in the field. Tilak with the awareness. He took a slight step back to be able to gather it cleanly and then reach forward. That's the end of Pratish. 11 for 9, off 9. 105 for 6, the Kings.
For the first time in the tournament, the Lumbini Lions are really roaring. They have the very famed Biratnagar Kings on the mat here at 105 for 6, as we see Marshan Delang out there in the middle. Wouldn't have expected to come out this early. That's nicely struck down the ground. Bashir Ahmed, there is protection there. And just take a look at that replay again and the way the bowler collects the ball.
Yeah, I thought it was 2, but then I saw Rohit Padel hearing across the ground and thought maybe not. A good bounce throw. And Tilak, the awareness, a lot of players would have tried to come to the ball. He stood his ground and ensured that he collected it cleanly first. That is important. There's, of course, the other option of getting in front of the stump. You see keepers do that a lot and then dragging it back, almost creating a fake direct hit. I thought Tilak did a very good job collecting and knocking the bails off.
There'll be a boundary. That'll run away. The top edge flies over this lush green outfield here at the Tribhuvan University ground. 451 boundaries for the tournament. And Bashir Ahmed and Marshan Delang, a lot of work for them to do.
Yeah, he did not intend it to go there at all, but he take it. He definitely take it. Broad shoulders, wants to give it a big whack. But showing a little bit of dexterity, being a little cute, the big man.
That was in the slot. Slam down the ground, but he could have gone aerial as well. He would have got the distance. Just early in the piece for Marshan Delang. And the big man, like you did say, he can hit a long ball.
Yeah, and this is another test for Bashir. How do you navigate batting with the low order and still striking powerfully?
Nicely struck. The angles are nicely covered by Rohit Podel. The Lumbini Lions have done well. The Biratnagar Kings 112 for 6 after 17. Well, it's party time out here in Kathmandu as we see the Red Bull fan zone. Refresh your Babal energy. And I've got the pronunciation absolutely spot on. Refresh your Babal energy, the new generation drink. We all enjoy it here in the commentary box. And they're really enjoying themselves out there. It is a little nippy. There is a little chill in the air. But the heat on the ground is taking care of everything for these people who've come in large numbers. We've seen some really good crowds, Carlos. I mean, especially if you see Sudha Paschim come in, the Biratnagar Kings have a huge following here. You see the stadium, not a seat available for love or money, as we see Trumpelman coming in from the Chobar end. There is a protection. Now, I just wanted to ask you, we've seen Trumpelman bowling to the left-hander, maybe Delanga. How do you think he should go about it? We know the pitch is slow. How does he deal with someone like Trumpelman?
Well, I spoke to Trumpelman just before the game and asked him if he was using a lot of cutters yet. Once you're playing a long tournament at one location, the pitches will deteriorate. So I'm not sure if he's going toward the cutter just yet, but I would suggest to him, you want to keep it out of the arc of someone like a Marchand de Lange. So you want to go wide, potentially with the cutters going even wider, using that left-hand angle.
Nicely played on the bounce, yeah. So if he's bowling the cutters, and we know you're a big hitter of the cricket ball yourself in your time, what was the thinking there? Do you go deep in the crease, or you just preempt the shot? You predetermine what you're going to do?
But you want to start straight for sure, especially if your angle is going across. You don't want to aim with 3/4 or half of the bat. So you want to aim straight. If the pitch is gripping a lot, can you get down to him? So for me personally, it was not a good use of my feet down the pitch. So I'd start outside of the crease. Some people prefer to go deep and across. So it's very dependent on what type of player you are. If you're someone that wants the ball short, can you run at him for one delivery, make him second guess his length, and when he bangs it in, then you go after him. A contentious wide called. Outside the line, yes, but Trampelman would have been saying and gesturing that Bashir moved across and the line should move with him. So I think the death bowling and batting aspects is...
There is a very fine third. The intention was to come back for 2, but sent back rightly by Bashir Ahmed. Just take a look at that wide once again. We just get the feeling that the batsman did take. But before we take a look at that wide, umpire Vimalasari has gone up to the TV umpire just to take a look at this. Looks pretty good to me. We'll see pretty shortly. Not out is the call, and that's the right one. We'll come back to that wide that you were talking about after this ball. Shot pulled away. Not very clever bowling this by Trampelman, but really good fielding by the man at deep square leg. Saved. Sandeep Johra, the fielder at deep square leg, certainly saved a couple of runs.
I actually don't mind that from Trampelman, you know, because we are sat here thinking he'll go into the hip, he'll go wide, and he's gone, you know what, I run in from a long way, got a little bit of pace about me. Marchand de Lange, he's probably the worst person you want to answer back, but he said, have a short ball, let me mess with your feet just a little.
Very well bowled. Extremely well bowled, straight and full. Well, now let's just take a look at the wide once again. Carlos, just run us through this.
Yeah, so these red lines are guides. So if you can see, the back foot of Bashir is on the first red line, which is a little ways outside of the off stump. So the bowler would then expect that further wide line to move across with Bashir, figuratively speaking, obviously. But a good finish from Trampelman. I think that is why he bowled that short ball, just to mess with the feet of Marchand de Lange. And then he was very clinical with the last 2 deliveries, Yorker, and then pace off. 18 gone, 118 for 60 Kings.
That's a magnificent sight there. Just the canvas on which nature paints. That's that beautiful picture there. Every sunset always tells us how beautiful the ending was, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not too interested in climbing up them, but I can watch this picture all day, all night long. Simply amazing.
Just not getting a hold of it. We'll get a couple of runs. That's the question that I was trying to ask you. if Bashir goes deep in his crease, does that give him that good length ball? Just becomes a shot of good length where he can go over mid-wicket if mid-wicket is where he's planned to hit it, or if he bowls it full, could he go over mid-off?
Yeah, but he's also gone laterally across the stumps, which kind of cramps him for room. So he may want to give himself a little bit of room, which gives his hands a little bit more time to access the ball. And then he can bang it straight down the ground like that. Good fielding again. It's been electric. But I think when you're trying to access straight and mid-wicket, it's hard to do it from a cramped position. So if you come across the crease like he did the last ball, you kind of almost get in your own way. If he gives himself a little bit of room backing away, he can go straight with the full swing of the bat, and he can also tug across because now he has the arms to get his hands all the way through.
And for those of you wondering whose voice that was, that's Carlos Brathwaite. He knows a thing or two, playing death bowling and hitting sixes in the death. There it is, beautifully struck, getting nicely inside the line of that and helping it on its way. Just mind games played here, and this time Bashir Ahmed getting the better of JJ Smith. A beautiful hit this for 6.
What I love about this shot is the acceptance of the line. He's come across again, almost cramped himself for room, but he's tried to hit it over fine leg and he was successful. Had he tried to go squarer, he could have almost fought with the line, but he's very aware of where he is with the crease, where he's aiming, and he's backing himself to go all the way for 6. There is a fine leg deep on the boundary. No boundary big enough. Watch Bashir catches on to it.
Nicely played this, beautifully struck. That'll be all 4 written all over it. It just cut through every blade of grass on this lush green Tribhuvan University ground. The crowd comes alive, Bashir Ahmed comes alive, and Biratnagar get into the 130s.
This is supreme batsmanship. He walked across, accessed leg stump, and once that off-stump fielder, offside fielder came up from the boundary, he's now given himself room and played one of the classiest cover drives we'll see all night long. This is high cricket IQ on show by Bashir. It's not only power, it's the level of thinking going into the way he's planning his batting, the way he's executing his strokes. It's such a good watch. I want him to face both of these deliveries. Even if it goes to long on, decline the single, make this your big over.
Decline the single. Nicely struck once again in the gap, but there is protection this time in the deep. We'll get the single. So 1 ball to contend with for Marshan Dilanga. You should just tell him, have a go at it. If you can get a boundary or 6, you've done your job.
Yeah, free hit for Marshan Dilanga. Probably makes a little bit more sense than my suggestion because he's hitting to the shorter side, leg side. Not sure if JJ Smith will give him the length to go through the leg side. But I love to see Bashir ensure that he bats the majority of the last over. Yes, you can turn 2 or 3 singles down and then get out. That's the risk you take. But on the flip side, you can also decline 1 single, and you can then go on to hit 3 or 4 sixes, and that could change, even win the game for the Kings.
Well, you're absolutely right. The last over could perhaps decide which way this game could go. If the Biratnagar Kings have a really big last over, then the Lumbini Lions are in trouble. Whereas if the Lumbini Lions can have a good over, they'll consider themselves that they've restricted the Biratnagar Lions to a good score. Not the greatest of thinking. They take the single, 19 done, 134 for 6. Just a huge last over, 16 runs of it. Can they have one more over of 16 runs? Marsh and Delanga on strike. Maybe facing up to Ruben Trumpelman from the Chobar Hills end. Slow delivery, just take the single. Bashir Ahmed says, thank you very much. I'll have the next 5 balls.
I just wonder how much of that in the last ball of the 19th over was a little bit of international player versus young local player. Because I'm thinking if it was a Pollard or a Russell, and obviously their stature in the game is a lot different to young Bashir's, but they would have held a hand up and said, Marchant Delanga, you hold the end. I want to bat 6 balls. And it's a level of awareness that he will get and experience that he will learn. And folks, he can get this delivery. He's not Superman. But you're talking about percentages and probabilities. He's 28 off 18. He just come off a brilliant match-winning knock. You want him to bat as many deliveries in this last over as possible. Even helps with it being the leg side to the short side.
3 fielders are boundary riders on the leg side. Ruben Trumpelman to Bashir Ahmed. Oh, straight to the man at third man. A big moment this in the game. The Biratnagar Kings lose their top gun. Bashir Ahmed, after doing a little bit of damage, departs. They'll be really happy. Tilak, the fielder there. Trumpelman will be a very happy man.
This is great execution from Trumpelman. He's gone on that wide line. He's gone around the wicket firstly to increase the angle across him. A nice little cameo from Bashir Ahmed. He's gone for 28 off 19. 135 for 7, the Kings.
Sahil Patel is the new man in to join Marsh and Delanga for these last 4 legal deliveries. Trumpelman. We'll just take a look at why Sahil Patel is out there in the middle.
Yeah, look at that angle. Left-hander going around the wicket at the left-hander, aiming for that wide line. And he nailed it, absolutely nailed it. And Bashir Ahmed would have thought, if they get it over, that's a boundary. And spotlight on Tilak. A nice grab. Not the easiest catch from that angle, but held it comfortably.
In the slot, just over extra cover. Well, this is not great thinking from Marsh and Delanga. He's taken the couple of runs. He should have held on for the last 2 deliveries.
Yeah, so I don't want to say it's new age thinking, but I think you look at maximizing deliveries and how many balls can the in batter or more powerful batter bat to be able to change the game with boundaries.
In the air, it's gone miles in the air. Will it land in no man's land? Yes, it does. They've come back for 2, and that'll be out. Very easy dismissal for the wicketkeeper. And now the Biratnagar Kings have lost the wicket of Sahil Patel to the run out as well.
Yeah, coming back for 2, injudicious. It was high. Sahil didn't seem to get away for that first run quickly and made the second one a bit of a challenge, not even in the frame when the bails came off. You just wonder. Marshall Delanga's only faced 1 ball in this over so far. Sahil Patel gone. He faced 3 of them, 138 for 8.
Sandeep Lamichhane on strike for the last delivery of the innings. What can he do? Swings that away. Has gone all the way. Sandeep Lamichhane, your little beauty, has come in there and whacked the last ball over square leg for a huge hit. The much needed 6. 10 runs of the over, 2 wickets in it, and a good end for the Biratnagar Kings. 144 for 8. Perhaps they will consider themselves, but they've got a decent score on the board. Well, that was also the Siddhartha Bank maximum of the match. There it is.
Yeah, what a good strike. Clear mind. Last ball, maximize it, and maximize it he did. Powerful striking. We spoke about 140 being okay. We talk about 150 being the target, and they've gone somewhere in the middle. 145 to get for the Lions. They'd feel they did a good job. On this wicket, they'll feel that slightly below par. And the Kings would be enthralled with the finish. Lokesh Bam, a nice 35. He'd like that at a better clip. Sam Islet, 27. They had a nice partnership. Bashir Ahmed, again, nice little cameo, 28 for him. And Sandeep Lamichhane at the back end. 1 ball, 6 runs. You'd like to take that strike rate with you wherever you go. 144 for 8 all told after their 20.
Well, just that one partnership there, Lokesh Bam, 55. And then Bashir Ahmed and Dilanga, 30 of 19, taking them to that score of 144 for 8 with 7 extras in it. Sher Malla really bowled well. 3 wickets for him, 25 runs off his 4 overs, 1 wicket each for JJ Smith. Abhishesh Gautam picking up that big wicket of Faf du Plessis, and Ruben Trumpelman bowling well at the back end, 1 for 24. They'll consider themselves having done a good job here, restricting a very strong Biratnagar batting lineup to 144 for 8. Well, I've always believed, Carlos, that you break it up into 3 bits, 1 to 6, 34 for 2. They did well, 64, 62 in the, and they just lost 3 wickets. But that back end, they didn't have too many wickets, too many batsmen out there to make use of those last 5 overs, just the 48. Well, we've all been enjoying ourselves out here in Kathmandu, and Jess Crow is down ringside with someone very special. Take it away, Jess.
I'm here mid-innings, joined by Sher Malla. Sher, we meet again. We can't stop having these interviews because you keep consistently performing. 3 for 25 for you today. That was outstanding. How was it out in the middle?
Yeah, today wicket was a little bit tricky to help to bowlers. So I trying to good areas, especially top 3 very dangerous batsmen in opponent. So I trying to note room and trying to bowl to stumps, finish to in the stumps. So wicket really helped, and I'm happy.
And let's touch more on those conditions then. How do they support you as a spinner?
Yeah, little bit ball turning. So hopefully next inning trying to coming due and help my team. So let's see.
And coming back from some impressive performances from yourself in the previous matches, how much confidence did that fill you with stepping onto the field today?
Actually, NPL started after I preparation too good and my training. So actually I trying to my best in my team. So I'm happy to my performance.
And entering the back stages of the competition now, all to play for. Is there any added pressure with that, and how do you deal with it?
So today's match is very important for Lumbini Lions. So actually do and die match. So maybe upcoming playoffs matches, and so this match very important for team. So hopefully this match win and upcoming next round.
Confident chasing the score?
Yeah, I'm confident to my batsmen. So, yeah.
Excellent, always going to be confident. Well, great work again, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to comes.
Well, thank you very much, Jess. They came out with a lot of expectations. Lost Munshi very early in the piece for a duck. And then Faf du Plessis played a couple of shots down the ground, but didn't look comfortable at all. Played that one off the back foot, beaten by the slowness of the pitch. That was a big moment in the innings. And then Heazlett came out there along with Lokesh Baum. Looked really good. Some couple of very good hits by the southpaw Heazlett and some very good shots by the right-handed Lokesh Baum until he just caused his own downfall. A little rush of blood. And then Heazlett carried on his merry way. And then that was the LBW of Narayan, very adjacent. And immediately Heazlett departed as well. And that's when the Biratnagar Kings were in trouble.
Yeah, they took a partnership from Pratish and Bashir. They steadied the ship. Then this happened. Good work from Tilak, rope pedal. Live wire, absolute live wire in the field. Then Bashir got into his work. Set a good foundation, got a couple away. And then he departed as well. Trumpelman with a fantastic finish. His final 2 overs pulled the game back in the favor of the Lions. Had some help in the field. And then Sandeep Lamichhane had a little drama at the end with a massive 6.
Never short of drama when Sandeep Lamichhane is on the park. When the Lumbini Lions come out to bat, they need 145 of their allotted 20 overs. That's 7.25 runs to the over. We'll take a very short break, and on the other side, it'll be live action in the run chase in this match 22.
Well, what an occasion under the floodlights again. It's a sold-out crowd here at the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Ground as the Lumbini Lions, to really keep their campaign alive and to throw a cat amongst the pigeons of the group stages, they'll need 145 to chase down the Biratnagar Kings total. Now, Mikhail is always a busy man when he's in Kathmandu, and he's going to take us behind the scenes of everything going on here.
I'm on one of the practice pitches. A couple of nights ago, I had introduced you to the new trends and technologies from the PCR as well. And today I thought it's very important on our behalf to acquaint you and get you closer to how these things work as well in live simulation mode. First up, we'll begin with the field plot. The field plot, the fair indication of what's the kind of field being set for a particular bowler and batter. To the left of your screen at the bottom, you will see a nice grid over here that shows dots, and these dots indicate that these are the fielders positioned for this particular over and batter. It keeps changing depending on how the captain and the bowler wants it to be. Very simple explanation. Not often you get to see the full ground and where the fielders are set. This gives you a bird's eye view of where the fielders are set. Talking about the fielders and the field setting as well in a particular game, the next technology that I'm going to introduce you is the player length between two fielders, particularly inside the 30-yard circle. I have two volunteers in Imal and Aditya, one positioned at square leg, one positioned at short fine. Now, interestingly, when these fielders move, the length also changes. This is the variable length depending on where the fielders are positioned, but it all happens in real time. If I can ask Imal to move to his left, keep moving to your left, keep coming closer to me, keep coming closer to me. Yeah, there you can see the length also keeps changing. So what it does is, it just gives the batter also an idea what's the distance between the gap, how big it has gotten, and also an idea to the captain and the bowler as to where the fielders are positioned at that point in time. Yeah, makes it very interesting, right? Just enhances the viewership too. Next up, we get to the spotlight. Now, once you're in the middle and you have the performances going, you have a nice little cone on you that just comes across, and it just highlights your performance, your name, your contribution. Sometimes for a batter, it's a strike rate or anything that just enhances and tells the viewer that this man's making an impact in the middle and he's been around for a while. Just to give that extra bit of information if you've not been following the other graphics and scores as well, just to say that this is what he's been doing so far for a very short period of time. That's it. You can take a look at this cone. Nicely, I'm standing underneath it. If I'm the batter, there it is, you know, and this is how it happens. All right. Then we have the last introduction, which is called the six tracker. Now, it really makes the experience breathtaking when you see the ball sailing into the stands, but what really adds to its visual value is the way the tracker just comes along and creates an arc and trajectory to give a very colorful look to that six as well. Sometimes it can be a catch too, but it gives probably a fair imagination of how far the ball traveled, how high the ball traveled, and at the same time, what's the kind of trajectory and curve it came down to as well. I'll certainly be trying that at some point in time to show you that as well. I'll quickly pull a bat for myself and see if I can get one going. I'm asking somebody to bowl. I just hope I can clear one. Not done it for a very long time. Here I go. There you could see it. I gave that some whack, and I'll tell you it's not easy batting at this stage and age of my life at least, but we keep talking about he's got the height and he's got the distance. This ball tracker gives you that kind of a trajectory as well. Well, I've really enjoyed bringing all of this to you. I hope you've enjoyed all the new introductions of the technology this season. Trust me, it makes viewing breathtaking.
Absolutely brilliant, Mikhail Vaswani, with the exception of one thing, that miss hit, the one you clothed, it would have been caught in the deep. I think that would have been a first bowler for you, Mikhail, and I would have taken great pleasure in describing your dismissal if you were out there. Okay, we're all set. We're on a used surface, remember, so this total of 144, depending upon the dew factor out there this evening, might be competitive. Maybe it's a slight edge to the Lions at the halfway stage, but it's kind of hard to say as to who's going to win this game. We could be in for a real thriller under the floodlights. Andrew Leonard here alongside HD Ackerman. How do you assess that first innings, mates? And is that six from the final ball from Sandeep Lamachani maybe quite an important moment?
I think it's a very important moment just to go over that 130 mark, get it into the 140s. I do think that the surface is a little bit on the slow side, and there's certainly some turn there. Sumit Maharajan will be walking in first up in support of Darcy Short. The Western Australian hasn't managed to get off to a quick start yet, but that's the instruction, and that's what my instruction would be to the Lions. Try and utilise these front six, particularly Marchand Langa, because he gives you the pace that I think you need on this pitch. A wonderful T20 career that Darcy Short has, with the best of 122. I think Lamachani might be difficult to play against. And when I say history, over the last couple of weeks, what we've worked out, though, is that the dew comes in about halfway through this innings now. So wickets in hand are important for those last 10 overs. You can chase anything in the last 10.
They'll have to survive or possibly attack the opening salvo from this man, because he is fast, he is fearsome, and he is a quality operator, is big Marchand Langa. Fantastic sight with a completely packed house this evening, and a big smile from De Lange, who's going to take the new ball to Darcy Short. Oh, beauty, an absolute beauty. It misses everything. What a start. Some movement under the floodlights.
He does have the ability to swing it back into the left-hander, but this nips away significantly. That's a corker. His reaction, every ball suggests he's taken a wicket. Marchand Langa.
Not even near that one, Darcy Short. A couple of great reactions from Faf du Plessis as well. And Darcy Short says, what can I do? How can I play that? I'm doing well to play and miss.
Well, it's doing a little bit under the lights.
So enjoyed his attitude throughout this season. That's not the right line and going to be given as a wide down the leg side. I was talking to him this morning. He was explaining how he hasn't been just invigorated by the crowds, but because of his personal journey, particularly the last 3 years with injuries, he is seeing this as a massive opportunity to show why he's still a value in the white ball game and to other leagues around the world.
Mentioned earlier on in the piece that he's still striving for bigger and better things. That's another beauty. When I say bigger and better and things, he just doesn't want his career to end now. Marchand Langa, and if he bowls like this, it's a long way from finished.
He told me that great story about even Ricky Ponting, who there's a shade of in the reaction there from Darcy Short. A little bit of a lucky there. As Ricky Ponting was talking about playing against De Lange in a warm-up game for a test series down in South Africa, every Australian said he was the fastest bowler that they'd faced. And with pace on, comes about run-scoring opportunities. Great piece of fielding. Bashir Ahmed does really well and very nearly turns what could have been a boundary into a run-out opportunity. Short had to get going.
This is the sort of length that Short is waiting for. The ball that's pitched up. When he first burst on the scene, he wasn't medium pace. Let me tell you, he was up high 140s, touching 150s. But then he had some debilitating injuries, which made that speed gun just drift south a little bit. On his day, he can still get it through.
Crunched and a marvellous diving stop. 3 runs saved. And every run in the defence of this chase is going to be critical. Subhash Bandari does really well.
Very good stop. The hands will be warm now, Bandari.
Imposing challenge for Sumit Maharjan, facing up to pace and quality of De Lange. I'm not sure it's the best idea to further anger the big man. He just says, "Are you all right, Summit? Are you ready for this?" And smiles all around. Like to see that.
Well, I think that the umpires weren't privy to the view that we had, in that De Lange was walking down the wicket with a big smile on his face. And I think the crowd and the officials thought that there was some seriousness going on, but all in good faith.
Fuller short. Short. Goes miles up into the sky. No one gets there. Can't quite describe the stroke for you. And the end result's going to be a single as Marjan survives somehow. It's 5 for none. It's a glorious sight, isn't it? We describe this as the closing week of the competition in terms of establishing our 4 playoff sides. It's very likely the Kings will be there alongside the Gorkas, and we know the Royals are already in. But the Kings would qualify for certain and further increase their chances of being one of the top 2 sides who have 2 chances getting to that grand final. You do have to wrap up if you're coming to the floodlit games, but the atmospheres have been unforgettable. I believe tomorrow is a sellout. I know Saturday is already sold out. That's sold out in 11 minutes. There are tickets available for Friday and Sunday, but that's it. As an interesting call here from Sandeep Lamachani, he's going to show faith in Pratish GC and hope that he can get a little bit of movement back into the right-hander rather than open with spin. This is clothed again. Well, Marjan has faced 2 balls. He could have been out twice. That final ball of the previous over, well, what was he doing here?
It's almost as if they've thrown him to the wolves here. I think he was expecting a bouncer. Meanwhile, it was up to the bat, got away with it, got away with the next delivery as well. Now, this is going to be an interesting contest because I think Darcy Short will want to try and get after Pratish GC.
I know I harp on about it. That's the spirit of cricket there. There's not a single ounce of nastiness in any way. It's all in good nature, in good faith, in good fun. Great scenes between De Lange and Marjan. Pulled into the gap, but off the toe of the bat. Now, du Plessis is not someone you want to take on. Maybe 40 years young. 41 now, isn't he? But he keeps himself in impeccable condition. We heard Carlos Brathwaite talking about his slow-motion running videos on social media.
Visualize Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
A little bit of movement back in, but pitched outside leg, can't be given out. It has been special the last couple of evenings, isn't it? Jason Roy, World Cup winner in the house. Dawid Malan in the runs yesterday. Faf du Plessis in. Can't beat a bit of stardust.
Yeah, and it was nice to see Dawid Malan sort of get around how the surfaces are playing and put on a big score like that. And you hope that du Plessis can find his feet quickly as well, because he's a joy to watch in this form of the game, how he puts an innings together. It'll be an education for everyone.
He's mistiming everything right now, Sumit Marjan. Has he been sent in to just try and have a slog, to go at it, rather than Sandeep Jura?
Might very well be the case. The only thing here, though, is that while these seamers are on, you want Short to be playing against them as much as possible, because this is what he's accustomed to. Pace on. Once the spinners come on, it'll be something that he won't really enjoy if there is turn and slowness to the surface.
Looks like the 2 padded up are Dickwella and Powdell. Again, I think this is pitched outside leg. Might have been a bit of bat involved as well. Good from Pratish GC though. I think it might depend upon whether the left-hander gets out or the right-hander gets out as to whether it will be Dequella or Powell at 3 or 4. Yeah, pitches outside leg, bat into pad. Nothing going for it. Missing leg 2. Good over. Really good from Pratish GC because he has been the weak link occasionally in this attack. 8 for none. Great atmosphere. We saw a lovely banner from some of the fans welcoming Faf du Plessis. See messages all over social media, some great memes, people saying, I've watched Faf du Plessis for 13 years in the IPL. I never thought we would see him in Kathmandu. And look at this place. It is packed to the rafters. Not a single seat available. This is the only show in town. And look at that. Lovely to see that. Captain, leader, legend. Welcome Faf du Plessis with respect and love from the RCB fan club Nepal. I think there's over 100 from a Royal Challengers Bangalore support team come in. Short leg in place. Shot. Bit of width on offer. Doesn't really get into line. Doesn't matter. 4 runs.
Done well here. This is when you got to take full toll here during when the ball's coming onto the bat. Not going to get easier.
Don't see too many short legs in T20 cricket. Oh, somehow survives. You cannot take your eyes off Dalanga to Marjan. It's a 3-part drama. And the two of them are jousting.
Dalanga thinks this is going back at him rather quickly. It almost ducks, then thinks, oh, hang on, there's a catch. Neither happens.
Well, bold. You want something to work with, whether it's full or short. That's a good tight line from Dalanga.
I think he's been very impressive over the course of this tournament. Dalanga, he might have gone for a few in 1 or 2 of their fixtures, but he's been a wicket-taking threat. And he's bowled well up front. If anything, he's gone towards the back end of his spell. Always in the wickets, always offering.
Excellent. They're going to run the single and they'll get home comfortably enough. We were talking off air, but just in the innings break, HT, about how we felt that the Lions needed to get ahead of the rate in the first 6. They are wicketless, that's important. But would you like to see them go a bit harder?
History tells you it's going to get a little difficult. Outside that power play, the ball will spin. Lamachani never goes for many. He's having a much better NPL season than what he had last season. So you could sort of expect him to go around that 24 runs mark. So someone has got to go.
Over the head of short leg. I have no idea how Maharjan is still there against Dalanga. Well, this has been a great tussle. Unmissable viewing here at the TU.
I'll tell you what, that's brave. I'm not sure I'd be getting on bended knee and trying to sweep Marchand de Lange. Not in this mood.
He's 24 years of age, plays under Owen Powdell at the Armed Police Force team in domestic cricket here. Came through the same under-16s as Asif Sheikh too. That's a good stroke. I think he might have looked for the cutter here, de Lange, and placed through extra cover expertly for 4. It's 19 for none. It was a poor start for the Kings in the first innings on a pitch that turned and proved difficult to play on. Having got halfway through the power play without losing a wicket, you wonder will they target Pratish GC this over. Shorter leg side boundary for the right-hander. Mahajan's been sent in to go at it. Deep backward square in place, deep third, the other man out. Bit of movement, bit of swing down the leg side, that'll be a wide. Just think of the bowling options for the Kings. Obviously, we know Lamachani will bowl 4. Heaslett maybe to offer some left arm spin. And then I wonder will Subhash Bandari get his go tonight. Played the other day, didn't bowl the off spinner. Bashir Ahmed, the other one with some left arm spin too.
Well, the one thing we're sure not to see is 8 bowlers or 7 bowlers like we have in other games.
Yeah, I think your bankers are de Lange, Pratish GC, Sandeep Lamachane, no doubt about that. But then, well, Larry and Josh, you can bowl a few little medium pacers, but it's probably a combination of Bashir Ahmed, Sam Heaslett with those left-arm spinners as well. I did see George Munsey bowling in the warm-up, and that sums up possibly how weak the bowling stocks are. His 4 overs will be key, Lamachani. Will take on the single, Lamachani. Oh, would have been interesting.
Attacks it beautifully from mid-on. It's just what you want from your fielders at long off and long on, is not to just stand on your heels and wait for the ball. Attack it, and Lamachani does that. He says, this is mine, I want the run out. Would have been very tight.
I think it would have been really close. The problem was that the throw got a bit large, and with the slightly dewy ball, that can happen. Yeah, split screen, maybe just home. Really well here, Pratish GC. His lengths have been impeccable. Darcy Short says, go on then, throw it some.
He's been involved in a few skirmishes, Pratish GC, over the course of the last few weeks. But that's good. There's no room to work with there for the left-hander. It's gun barrel straight, at off stump. If he goes wider than off stump, Short will let his hands go. If he gets it in and around leg stump, he'll flip it over the leg side.
Pulled away, pulled powerfully. You just sensed something was going to happen. Only a fraction short, but Darcy Short pounces upon it and gets his second boundary.
I'm not sure of the personality of Darcy Short, but more often than not, you don't want to engage Australians in a contest because they thrive.
They love a tussle, they love the fight, they love an arm wrestle.
It's funny that, isn't it? I mean, the great Steve Waugh, him saying that if he didn't find as though, if he found as though he was struggling to middle the ball or something, he would he would actually say, I'm going to pick a fight. He would say to his partner, I'm going to pick a fight. I need to get into this contest. I don't feel as though I'm in the contest.
I'll look around the field, I'll find someone and I'll say something to them and I'm going to go at them. And maybe not the best way to do it, but whatever gets you going. And certainly I'd agree with you. I think Darcy Short looks like you don't want to engage him into that arm wrestle. Second man goes out on the deep on the leg side, deep mid-wicket and deep square leg in place. So he goes down the ground, he'll get 4, just a punch. Lions have started brightly, 29 for none. Lions well ahead, looking comfortable, and remember all their runs this season have really come from Rohit Powdell. The occasional contribution, Dequella played well the other day. But the challenge is surely going to be spin with the surface that we have, and we are going to see Subhash Bandari get his opportunity. He was part of that Nepal under-19s crop that you and I were commentating on down in South Africa. That famous victory in East London over Afghanistan. I think he was in at the end. I think he might have hit the winning run.
I'm not sure how you knew hit the winning runs. You were under the table when you were calling that final delivery, if I remember correctly.
The drama was off the charts, wasn't it? Legendary game down in East London. I just have a sneaking suspicion it might have been Bandari that hit those winning runs. I'll tell you in a moment. The ball is off breaks. The reason he's been brought in is because of the left-hander out there, but he's not on strike. And he's struck. First ball, that'll do nicely. It's a nothing shot, isn't it? No turn on offer, skids on, and the Kings strike back. Bandari's first ball of the season is a wicket.
It may be a nothing shot, but this is the reason why he was sent in. For him to take it on, it hasn't worked out well. He's missed that by a mile. Good bit of bowling from around the wicket, just goes on with the angle. And the Kings have their first one. Sumit Maharajan goes for 10. It's 29 for 1.
Rohit Powdell it is to the crease because of the fact, I believe, that the right-handed batter, Sumit Maharajan, was the one that was dismissed. So the skipper will send himself to the crease. After Ravi Bopara, nobody in the history of this tournament has made more runs. He's the second leading run scorer across the 2 seasons. Hasn't quite done it at the strike rate that we would have felt as though he is capable of. Listen to that roar, very popular cricketer. And lots of Lions fans will be relying upon their skipper to guide this chase. He'll need to play the anchor role as Bandari's tail is up. There is something working in the grey matter HD, because I'm going to look at the replay first. You like this piece of bowling?
Yeah, I don't mind around the wicket. Just that angle. If it turns, it challenges the front pad. If it doesn't, they've always had a little slip in place there, Faf du Plessis. So I don't mind this angle. I think it's a real attacking angle to bowl for the off spinner.
Good piece of glove work too by Sahil Patel. Very nice. Yeah, certainly something working in the grey matter, because it was Subhash Bandari that hit those winning runs. And Tilak Bandari was at the other end. He didn't face. if I remember correctly, there was a run out at the non-striker's end attempted by Afghanistan to add to the drama. And yeah, Bandari was the hero. I'll never forget watching Dev Canal on the sidelines in that game. He got out for 58. He could barely watch. He felt as though he'd let his side down. 7th wicket to fall, but they did scramble over the line by 1 wicket. As Powell goes up, could this be a chance? Fielder goes back, taken! It's Faf du Plessis, who has the catch, has the big wicket. Bandari's got 2. Rohit Powell's gone for a duck.
What about this for a catch? An all-round cricketer. He makes that look a lot easier than it actually was. And he is now officially welcomed to Nepal. Massive wicket. Paddle goes without scoring. The Lions 29 for 2.
Well, what a roar we just heard at the TU, because the icon that is Faf du Plessis has taken a spectacular catch. That's got to go into our best catches package, no doubt about that. And look at the smile. He's loving every bit of it, apart from maybe the bit of whiplash that he got as he hit the ground. Sandeep Jura to the crease.
Good bit of captaincy, though. Because Faf du Plessis was actually at slip for the first 2 deliveries and then was sent out.
Powell took the bait, didn't he? And he said, okay, I'll go up and over the offside, but didn't get near it. Pressure on the Lions. And we felt the challenge was going to come from the spinners. Francois du Plessis, 41 years young. How good is this?
Well, he's obviously fielded under lights before, because it never had an effect on him. Turned, backpedaled, found it, and then thought, hang on, this outfield is a little harder than I expected. There is protection down at long on. Does well. Shantalanga in the deep. And so they get through for 2. End of 5, a very eventful over that one. 31 for 2.